Hello fellow stackers, 365 here, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I wanted to talk to you about my 10-year investing rule. Now this applies to the length of time that I plan to hold investments and the length of time I visualize an investment vehicle still being around. So let me break it down into two halves. The first one I mentioned there is how long I'm willing to hold an investment for. Now, some people say that you should be willing to hold an investment for minimum 5 years. I've always said you should be willing to hold an investment between 10 and 15 years. So if you're not willing to hold an investment before 10 and 15 years, in my opinion, it's not even worth making that investment in the first place, because you need to be able to hold it for a long enough period of time that you can ride the ups and downs. I don't think it's sensible buying an investment but then needing the money within 2 to 3 years because the stock or the crypto or the precious metal, whatever the investment may be, might go down and you might be forced to sell at a loss. So for me, it's very, very important to look towards 10 years as a minimum time to hold the investment. Now, once I've decided if I'm happy to hold that investment for 10 years, the next thing I do is I visualize the future. I visualize 10 years in the future, and I visualize whether I see that investment vehicle still being around. So let me give you an example. Say I'm looking at investing in McDonald's stock. The first thing I do is I work out if I'm willing to hold that for 10 years. If the answer is yes, the second thing I do is I visualize the future and I think, will McDonald's restaurants still be around and functioning as a business in 10 years' time? Now, if the answer is yes, then I go ahead and invest in it. Now, personally, I don't hold any McDonald's stock, but I do see McDonald's being around for 10 years. Now, for me, the same goes with any investment vehicle. So precious metals, for example, can you see gold and silver being around in the next 10 years? My answer is absolutely. I can see them being around forever. Am I willing to hold them for a minimum 10 years? The answer is yes. I plan to hold them for a lot longer than 10 years. So that is why I invest in precious metals. Now, let me give you another example. I've recently invested in Lucid stock, and you can see that I bought 65 shares for just over $6 a share, and that was on the 3rd of January. So we're talking a couple of weeks ago. Now, if we fast forward to the stock price today, it has doubled and it is just over $12 a share. I've had Lucid on my radar for a long time. I invested when it was a SPAC. I invested when it was near its all-time high, and I've invested on the ways down, and I've invested as at the rock bottom as well. Now, the reason I wanted to mention Lucid is because when Lucid plummeted to $6 a share a couple of weeks ago, instead of looking at it like a loss, I looked at it like I was getting the same stocks for a discount. Because my vision with Lucid is long term, I won't be panicking when the stock price plummets. I'll just be buying more stock at a lower price and therefore bringing down my average for the entire investment. So I think it's something to think about when you're making any investment decision. Are you willing to park that capital away, lock it away for 10 years? And do you visualize that company being around for 10 years? Because then it's a lot easier to stomach when you start seeing the red days and when you start going into the red. So for example, if silver spot price starts dropping, you can stomach it more if you're planning to hold silver for 10 years anyway, because you look at it as everything's on discount. Instead of thinking I'm out of pocket here, you think, hang on a minute, I'm holding this for minimum 10 years, so I'm going to buy a lot more now, and then it brings my average down. So I'll be very interested to hear what you think about this criteria that I have when I make investments in the comment section below. As always, thank you very much for watching my videos, and I hope you have a nice day.